Okay, peeps, let's do this thing. So, which equation or which expression is equivalent to 2x to the fifth over x cubed? Did anyone get B? Maya?
Yeah.
Walk me through it.
What I did was the 2x and to the fifth power, I did 2/5, which equal to 32, and then that turned into 32 to the fifth power over x to the third power. So then I did 5 minus 3, which is 2. So 32x to the second power.
Good. Now, I have a question for you, Maya. Why did you subtract 5 and 3?
I subtracted 5 and 3 because
You did the right thing, but I want to know why you subtracted x to the fifth minus 3.
I subtracted it because
I know in your head you were like, oh, I know I just subtract these. But what can anyone else help Maya out? What was so special that we needed to subtract the exponents? Nicole?
the bases are the same and you're dividing, so you subtract.
Very good. So remember when we multiply, we add the exponents together? Whenever we're dividing, so that, see how that x to the third was in the denominator? We have to subtract the exponents. So Maya and Nicole, very nicely done, okay? You should have gotten 32x to the second power, okay? 32x to the second power. This was not an easy question, okay? Because you had to distribute that 5 to both the terms inside the 2 and the x, because they both have an exponent of 1. And then you had to subtract the 3 from the 5 to get 32x squared. All right, any questions on the warm-up? Okay, so normally I would take questions on the review from over the weekend, but we have a shortened period, so I want to kind of just jump into what today's lesson is all going to be about. All right, so go ahead and write down, put a line underneath the warm-up, and remember, I don't need you copying the chapter 7 part, I just need you copying lesson 7.5, rational exponents and radicals. Lesson 7.5, rational exponents and radicals. Gianni, this is your last warning. I need your video turned on. Jason, you need to be in the video at all times. That's your last warning. And Felipe, you as well. You need to be in the video at all times.
Mr. Yurko,
Yeah, Gianni?
can I join with another device?
That's fine. Felipe going once, going twice. Felipe, since I cannot see you, I'm gonna have to let you go. Bye, Felipe. Okay. Next part of the notes, I need you guys to copy down the objectives, which is just one, and it's to rewrite expressions involving radicals and rational exponents. To rewrite expressions involving radicals and rational exponents. This is what we call a radical sign. And that radical sign is used whenever we have an exponent that's a fraction, okay? Used when exponent is a fraction. Yes. Everything that is highlighted or I'm physically writing down, you guys need to have copied down as well. So that is a radical sign, and we use it whenever we have an exponent that's a fraction. Okay. Now, whenever we see the radical sign, there's going to be a number associated with the radical sign, and that's what we're going to call our index, okay? So let's say we have 25 to the 1/2. Make sure that you guys are copying this down as well. 25 to the 1/2. 25 to the 1/2 is just asking us, okay, what number squared will give us our base of 25, okay? What number squared will give us a base of 25? And what number is that, Carlos? 5. Excellent. So 25 to the 1/2 is 5. Now, you're going to see it in this lesson as something called the square root, okay? So it's going to be a radical sign with a 2 right here. And where that 2 comes from is it's the denominator of your exponent. So that 2 is going to be the same as what we call our index. And then the 25 is inside here, and that equals to 5. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, I've seen this before, or you remember it. But what gets tricky now is this index is going to be changing. Most of you have seen it where it's only been a 2. You've only done the square root. In your freshman year of math, this is where we get into the cubed root, the 4th root, the 5th root, and beyond, okay? Where your index is not 2 anymore. It's going to be larger numbers, okay? What's up, Roy?
So if it was 25 to 1/3, then you just put the 3 in
Yep.
the index.
Good question. So Roy just asked if it was 25 to the 1/3. Now, 25 to the 1/3 is going to be a nasty decimal, so we're not actually going to calculate it. But how you would write it as a radical was it would be the radical, and your index would change from 2 to 3. And then you would put the 25 down below it.
So you had a number other than 1 on the numerator.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. One step at a time, Roy. Roy's thinking ahead. Roy just asked if we had a number different than 1 in the numerator. We'll get to that. Okay. Everyone has this copy down? Or do we need a little bit more time? About 30 seconds more. What's up, Alan?
No, I need more time.
You need more time? Okay. 30 seconds.
Okay.
You good, Alan?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is a nice little slide, okay? That is the radical sign. You don't have to copy this down, okay? Don't copy this down. That is our index, which is whatever number is next to, it's like in the V portion of our radical sign. And what we call the number underneath is our radicand, okay? Our radicand is that number that's underneath the radical sign. Okay, what you do need to copy down is this one, the cubed root of 125. the cubed root of 125. So what this is asking us is it's saying we need to find a number that when we multiply it by itself 3 times, it's going to equal 125. In other words, we're taking 125 and we're raising it to the 1 over the index, which is 3. We're raising it to the 1/3. And what do we get when we do that? Anderson? Excellent. The answer would be 5. Because 5 times 5 is 25. You multiply that by 5 and you get 125. Make sure you get all of this copied down. Even if you knew this right off the bat, I need you to copy down all of this. I better see it when I grade your notes. Which, by the way, guys, I graded your notes and your homework over the weekend, okay? Some of you guys did excellent. Your notes are really, really organized. It looks great. You're using different colors. That's awesome. You're highlighting. That's really good. And some of you guys have amazing handwriting. Now, on your homeworks, okay, most of you did really well in the homework. Some of you guys decided to use the same assignment between 2 students and you thought I wouldn't catch you. That's why you got a 0. And some of you decided to just write the answers down with showing no work and you also lost points. Don't be that person, okay? Make sure you're showing work for every problem, even if it's super simple, okay? And it'll take you like 2 seconds just to write down an extra step. That's it. And make sure that you are not using the same homework assignment as someone else. If you guys work on it together, that's fine, but you guys should have separate assignments with your own work on each one. Okay, the 4th root of 16. Our index is what? And our radicand is 16. So this is going to be 16 to the what power? 1/4. Does anyone know what that is? Dos. Because 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. All right, we good so far? We've got a bunch down here. I want you to copy down all 4 of these. So the cube root of 27, the 5th root of 32, the 3rd root of 64, and the 2nd root or the square root of 36. What's that? The third root. Yep. Copy all 4 of those down, A, B, C, and D, and go ahead and try them. And when I mean try them, don't just write equals 3, equals 2, equals 9, equals 7. I want you guys to actually write down the exponent as a fraction and then figure out the answer. Just like I did for the other 2. Okay. For the first one, for A, Serena Mayer, what is my index?
Isn't like the fraction?
Mm-hmm.
27 and then 1/3.
Good. 27 to the 1/3. Now, who can tell me what my index is? Janessa, what's my index? The 3. Very good. The 3 is the number that's in the V of the radical, okay, Serena? And that's what we call our index, okay? It should match up with the denominator of your exponent. And did anyone get 27 to the 1/3? What is it? Alan, what'd you get? Still working on it? Victoria, what'd you get? 3, very good, okay? All right, for B, Maya, what's my index?
5.
Excellent. And Tessa, what is B written with a fraction exponent?
Okay, 32 and 1/5.
Good, 32 to the 1/5. And did anyone get that one? Ashton, you got it? Excellent. It is 2. If you take 2 and raise it to the 5th power, you will get 32. For C, we have the cubed root, or the 3rd root of 64. Jessica, what's my index?
3.
Mm-hmm. And Nick Martinez, how do I write this with a fraction exponent?
I'm still working on this one.
I think you can do it right now, off the top of your head. What is 64? The cubed root of 64 written with a fraction exponent. 64 to the... Nicole, what do you think? 1/3. And Roy, what'd you get for this one? 4, excellent. 4 times 4 is 16. Multiply that by 4 again, and you get 64. Some of these guys will not come naturally, okay? Some of them you're going to have to think about a little hard, and some of them you might just have to try. So like for B, you might just take 3 and raise it to the 5th power. So literally multiply it out, and you'll get to a point where we'll be like, oh, that's way too large. Let me go down. Let me try 2. Oh, 2 works perfectly, okay? D. What's my index, Alan? 2. So this is the same as 36 to the 1/2. Does anyone know what 36 to the 1/2 is? Anderson, what'd you get? 6. Okay? It's just the square root, which is 6. Did anyone get all 4 of these? Nice. Nice. Good. If you got all 4 of these, you are looking solid. Okay? Uh-oh. Okay, so this is an example of what 8 to the 2/3 looks like. Should make more sense. So what is the 5th root of b cubed? Go ahead and copy this down. The 5th root of b cubed in exponential form. Exponential means with an exponent. Only an exponent, not a radical. Maya, what's my index? 5. So that's going to be what, Janessa? Good. So this is basically b to the 3rd raised to the 1/5 power. B to the 3rd raised to the 1/5 power. Who remembers, what do we do with the 1/5? Roy?
You do b to the 3rd times itself 5 times.
Good. You do b to the 3rd times itself 5 times. No. It's 1/5. We have to take this exponent and multiply it by the exponents inside. Right? So this is going to be 3 times 1/5. This is the same as 3 over what? 1 times 1/5. What is this equal to? 3/5. So our new expression is just b to the 3 over 5. That's it. Now, how many of you guys could have just said b to the 3/5 without having to do all this work? A few of you, right? You need to show your work for the questions on the homework, okay? If you don't show your work, you're going to get points off. So make sure you are showing your work. I get it. Eventually, we're going to be like champions at this and just like see it and be like, okay, b to the 3/5. We know it. But show your work in the beginning, okay? Your homework assignment is only 6 questions. I need you to show work for each and every one of them. Okay, the next one. This one's a little bit more complicated. Go ahead and copy down this one. The third root of 27d to the 5th. The third root of 27d to the 5th. Okay, do I have any brave souls that think they know how to solve this? Roy, what do you think?
So it should be 27d to the 1/3 to the 5th power. So 27d to the 5th power times 1/3.
Good. All to the 1/3. Excellent. 27d to the 5th, all to the 1/3. What do we do with that 1/3? Ah, it multiplies to what?
Multiply it to 5.
And 1. Very good. Because there's a 1 next to this 27. Because remember, when you don't see an exponent, what is the exponent? 1, always, okay? So we're going to multiply the 1/3 with the 1 and the 1/3 with the 5. We're going to get 27 to what? 1/3. And then d to the what? 5 over 3. Now hold on. Do we know what 27 to the 1/3 is? What is it?
33.
Ah. So this is 3d to the 5 over 3. Why can't we simplify d to the 5 over 3? Carlos? Exactly. D is a variable. We don't know what d is. So we're just going to leave it as d to the 5 over 3. Are we starting to see the hang of this? Get the hang of this a little bit? Okay, we got a few more problems, then we're done. One more page and we're done.
I have your page left.
You ran out of space? That's good. It means you're taking good notes. I think. I hope. So does that mean you need another piece of paper?
Yeah.
Do you not have paper? Wow, Rioni. Okay, next ones. I want you to copy down A and B and go for it. A and B and go for it. 1. What's the index for A? I can't hear you. 1. 1. I still can't hear you. 1.
The index for A is 2.
Nope, it's not 2. What is it, Maya? 3. Okay. Our index is 3. And the index is going to be what in our exponent? The denominator. Okay. So this is going to be s squared to the 1/3, which is just s to the 2 over 3. S to the 2/3. Who got that? Nice. Nice. Okay, B. Roy, what do you think?
I got 12x to the 4/3.
If If you got 12x to the 4/3, you are correct. Guys, what's going on with the 12? Why does it just chill? Why is nothing happening to the 12? Alan?
It's not in the equation.
It's not underneath the radical. Do you guys see that? The whatever's underneath the radical is the only thing that the radical applies to. Everything else just kind of chills, it sits there. It's kind of like those negative signs that were outside the parentheses, okay? We don't really do anything with those until after we factor them in, okay? This is the last part of the notes. Go ahead and take pictures and upload. If you have to upload during next class, that is fine, but make sure you take a picture right now. You good, Elijah? You good? You're quiet today.